curious historical tone. Around the year 2469 BC, humanity was experiencing a massive population boom. These early human settlements were expanding rapidly across the primitive landscape, effectively multiplying the entire footprint of civilization. As the population grew, the historical record notes a bizarre societal anomaly. The text describes a strange union between the sons of God and the daughters of men, a merging of physical and spiritual realms that distorted the natural human order. This expanding civilization quickly fractured. The earth became consumed by violence and corruption. Every system, every interaction, and every aspect of daily life had decayed into a state of absolute brutality. Looking down at this dark, corrupted earth, the Creator experienced profound grief. The record describes an intense emotional regret, a sorrow that God had ever made humanity in the first place. The response to this grief was a drastic verdict: the complete annihilation of all flesh. Every living creature, humans, livestock, birds, and insects, would be completely erased from the earth. With the impending destruction of the entire planetary biosphere, the situation had finally reached a point of no return. Unless an intervention occurred, all terrestrial life faced permanent erasure. The Creator communicated the nature of this destruction to a man named Noah. It would be an inescapable global flood, a massive wall of dark water meant to drown the planet. Noah was the lone exception to the verdict. He was tasked with a specific survival mandate: build a vessel capable of withstanding the deluge. The first requirement was the material. The survival vessel had to be constructed entirely of gopher wood. Gopher wood is an ancient, highly resilient timber, likely a type of cypress known for its durability in water. This diagram illustrates the mandatory waterproofing technique. Noah was instructed to seal the vessel with pitch, a thick, tar-like substance, coating both the inside and the outside of the hull to make it completely watertight. This schematic shows the exact non-negotiable external dimensions of the ark. It measured 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. A cubit is an ancient unit of measurement based on the length of the forearm, roughly 18 inches, making this vessel over 450 feet long. Still looking at the structure, we see it was strictly compartmentalized. The interior was divided into 3 distinct levels: a lower, second, and third story, maximizing the usable square footage for the incoming cargo. The final architectural details required a single door set directly into the side flank, and a window finished to an exact measurement of 1 cubit, positioned at the very top of the structure for ventilation. These hyper-specific dimensions frame the construction as a calculated mechanical feat of crisis engineering. The completed vessel was a massive, floating, self-sustaining biosphere built to house far more than a single family. This branching diagram illustrates the strict biological cargo mandate. Noah had to bring 2 of every living sort of flesh, specifically a male and female pair, to ensure reproduction after the flood. The inclusion criteria seen here were exhaustive, covering all ecological domains. The payload included birds according to their kind, all varieties of livestock, and every type of creeping insect and reptile. Then came the final logistical hurdle. Noah was ordered to gather, organize, and properly store enough food types to keep both his family and the thousands of animal species alive for the duration of the event. Managing an immense payload like this required extreme precision. The responsibility for the survival of the Earth's fauna rested heavily on one man's ability to execute complex biological logistics. There was a distinct reason why the Creator dictated these exhausting, rigid instructions to Noah rather than providing safety through other means. It established what the text calls a covenant. A covenant is a binding legal and spiritual contract where protection was guaranteed in exchange for absolute, to-the-letter human obedience. Under the terms of this covenant, the final roster of humans permitted to board the ark was limited to 8 individuals: Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and his sons' wives. In the end, Noah adhered to the blueprint perfectly. As the heavy rain began to fall, the text notes that he had completed the massive undertaking exactly as he was commanded. The fully loaded, sealed Ark stood as a monument to human survival, bracing against the very first moments of a planetary apocalypse. This ancient record carries a specific warning for modern readers. The text explicitly states that the destruction of the Old World was written down as an admonition for those living at the ends of the New World. The continuation of all life on Earth was secured by a single man strictly executing a complex apocalyptic survival blueprint.